All right, let's go ahead and let's add in our touch node logic. So we'll add in a function below this touches node here. We'll say touched node logic, and then we'll call, instead of randomized squares, we'll call touched node logic. All right, and within this touch node, we have to do a couple things. Before this, we're going to say touched node, okay, this SK node that we set up here is equal to node at point. And what point is that going to be? It's going to be touch location. So if the node is in the touch location, we'll each that equal to touch node. And within touch node logic, we're going to say if touched node dot name is double equal to nil. Okay, so remember, this is the wrong one. So if you accidentally click the wrong square, we're going to run some logic in here. Okay, so we're going to say is alive is equal to false. We'll say count down var, and we haven't set down a countdown var yet, but we will, is equal to 0. So we're going to get rid of the countdown var. We're going to go and say LBL main dot font size is equal to 90 because we're going to say LBL main dot text is equal to game over, just like that. And then we're going to reset the game. So I'm going to hop to the bottom here, add in a function called reset the game. And we're going to set that up later because we're going to do it in its own tutorial because it's a little bit more complicated than you might expect. But we're going to call reset the game now. So right now it doesn't do anything, but later once we add in the functionality, it will. Okay, so that is the incorrect logic here. So now we need to add in another if statement. We'll say this is touched node dot name is equal to left square white. Okay, and then we need to add in the curly brackets here. Make sure our denting is correct. We're going to say score is equal to score plus 1. Then we're going to say tapped square left is equal to true. And we're going to go to tapped right square is equal to false. And right square is equal to false. And then what we're going to need to do is we need to update the score. So let's do that right now. Function, we'll call this update score. And we'll go to LBL score dot text is equal to score score. We'll call this update score, and we'll go to randomize square. And we'll copy and paste this all together. And what we'll do is we'll say right square right white. Okay, and it's the same thing. Now you could add in, for example, an or, and you could make it work like this. There's nothing wrong with that. However, sometimes there might be different logic, and sometimes I like to do it this way just because it's a little bit more correct here. But we need to also change this to false, and this is to true. Okay, so we got that tap node here. And then it randomizes the squares, and remember, randomizes the squares. We'll call the animation here. Okay, so let's take a look at that, and let's see if it does indeed work. So we'll run it here, tap the white square. Okay, and there you go. Look at that. Okay, perfect. Yeah, very neat. All right, I like that. Tap the white square, and there you go. Yeah, kind of neat. Now, the only thing is that this fade-in duration is maybe a bit too long. Let's say it's 4. All right, half as long is probably a bit better. We want it to be to work here, so there we go. Perfect. Yeah, that's it. All right, this concludes the tutorial.